not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hi all, in this video we are going to create this artwork of water and fish in a slice of orange with Photoshop. So with Photoshop open, let's press Ctrl or Command N for the new document. You can select any dimensions, but for this I am using 1080 by 1080 with 150 resolution, color mode RGB with 8-bit and background transparent. So let's create this, and here's the new document. Now let's create the background first. Go to here, new fill, and let's select a gradient. Let's select a basic gradient of black and white, and with this let's change this color to, let's say, somewhat grayish, a light gray, I'll say, much more lighter. Yes, click OK, and we'll keep this one as white and press OK. And in style we are choosing radial, and let's click this reverse, which gives us this white in center, which gives the effect of light. Press OK. Now let's import this orange, drag and place it here. Press enter or return, and we'll put it in the center. So let's resize it, and now let's get the orange slice. Drag and release. Press enter, and also resize this. Keep this a little down. So before importing other assets, let's add some shadows to this too. So click on here gradient and create a new layer. Now click on B for a brush and choose a soft round brush and make this one a little smaller like this. Okay, and let's increase the size of a brush. Tap it here and another tap in here. Looks good. Now what we will do is we'll decrease the opacity to make it look better. I think we need something more like 70. Looks good. Press V and just adjust it a bit. Looks good. Let's rename this as shadow. Great. Now let's remove this pulp from the slice of orange. So go to quick selection tool, make sure it has the add to selection turned on, and let's zoom it a little. And now we have to select this, so make sure your orange slice layer is active, and now select. Perfect. Now we will mask this. So to mask this, make sure your foreground color is set to white, and with Alt or Option key pressed, click on the mask icon. Perfect. Now let's import the water here. So let's go, click here and drag this here. We have to zoom out a little. Let's press OK, and now let's resize this something like this. Let's say what we are trying to do is keep the slice a little hollow so it looks a bit real. Okay, let's press enter. Now what we need to do is we have to mask out the outer part of water. So let's with water layer selected, let's reduce its opacity so we can see what part we need to mask out. Let's keep this opacity to 45 for now, and add a layer mask to it. Now select brush tool, and this time select a hard round brush. Okay, and make sure the opacity is 100 and flow is 100. Okay, let's reduce the size of the brush and let's mask out this outer part. Okay, good. So we have somewhat masked out as good as we can. And now let's increase the opacity back to what it was. Great. And now what we will do is decrease the opacity to, let's say, 15, and also decrease the flow to 45. And I think we have to, let's keep it to 10 and flow also to 15. Yes, this is better. Looks good to me. So what we have done is we have make it a little more transparent so it looks a little real. Change it with X and let's get this upper part, its opacity back. That looks good now. So what next we have to do is have our fish. Go here and get all of these. Drag and place it here. Enter, enter, enter. And this one is big. So now let's resize them and arrange them in the water. If you want extra, then let's duplicate this goldfish and flip to horizontal. And let's place it here. Perfect. Now let's group this and name this group as fishes. Now get on the water layer and duplicate it and put it above the fish group and change the blend mode to screen. And now let's change the fill to 40%. Perfect. So what next we have to do is get these shadows in here to make it look more realistic. So now let's give the shadows to this orange slice so it doesn't look vague and looks more real. So let's click the below layer and add a new layer. Press B for brush tool. Make sure the black is set as foreground color and let's select a soft round brush. Okay. Now go to opacity and reduce the opacity a little. Let's say 40 and also flow to 45. Now let's zoom in a little and add some shadows in here. Perfect. So let's name this layer as orange slice shadow. Now add this looks a little vague too. So above this previous shadow of this, let's create another layer and in this let's add some shadows. I am reducing the opacity a little more. Let's say 10. Flow also let's say 20 here, but before doing this let's put this one above the orange slice. Okay, and let's rename this as the orange bottom shadow. Perfect. Let's zoom out. Looks pretty good to me. And for the last small thing, let's get this gray a little more lighter. Yes, this looks nice and bright. Press OK. 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 And Control or Command plus 0. And here is the final result. So let me know how you feel about this. If you want this assets, I'll put a link in the description of the Google Drive. Make sure to check out my other videos and like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, keep watching Haynes Graphics.